Hello, my name is Sophie Summers, and as always, welcome to the Crossdressing Lifestyle channel. Now, you probably observed from the thumbnail or the introduction or how you search for us, this particular video is entitled or to do with cross-dressing and mental health. Now, I've thought very long and hard before I sort of wanted to put myself in front of a camera about mental health issues, because they're very, very much in the headlines, and we're all of us, no matter where we are on the planet, are being affected by this particular virus that's going around. A lot of people have been furloughed from work, some of them have lost their jobs totally, there's an awful lot of uncertainty around, and some of us have lost people very near and dear to us, and this has affected each and every one of us in a certain way, some more so than others. So I really want to share a little bit, you know. For me, I've always been told and always learned that if I'm having lots of particular problems myself, there is a statement sort of getting out of self and trying to help others. I hope this video in some ways is not going to turn out to be a great big long rambling on my part. I hope there's going to be some sort of, I wouldn't say advice, but some sort of soothing comments that I may make that puts other people's mind at ease. Now, I've been a cross-dresser all my life. I'm now very fast approaching, exactly 1 week's time today, my 59th birthday. So I've gone through quite a lot of ups and downs without getting too personal. I've been married twice. I'm with a extremely loving and fantastic partner at the moment, who I met when I was cross-dressing in a bar here in Brighton, and we got to know each other very well, and I had a unique situation of trying to reveal myself to a man format rather than the challenge that faces a lot of people, which is explaining to their potential loved ones and partners that they actually cross-dress and they've never seen them cross-dressed. So that's rather a unique sort of approach, I think. But I don't want to sort of go off on too many tangents. What I want to really have a look at is mental health issues and how these things, I believe, not uniquely affect us as cross-dressers, but have a little bit of sort of effect definitely on us. Now, me personally, I find the desire or the need to dress a lot more when I'm under tremendous strain. Now, I know that a lot of people have been furloughed from work, possibly lost their jobs, lost friends, family, and those that are dear to them, and their stress levels are very, very high. Now, if you're being, as I have been, and a lot of you have been, sort of, how would I say, locked in for many, many weeks now, and if you're locked in with people that don't know, you don't have that option of dressing. Some of us are very, very lucky. I am. I've had an awful lot of opportunity to dress since I've been with my partner and for most of my sort of last 15 or 20 years. And I know how beneficial it is. I've received a lot of phone calls and emails recently from people saying, when are we going to open up again? Because here in the UK, there's been a slight easing of the lockdown situation, and a lot of people I've spoken to are desperate to dress, but they can't because of all the people around them, and they're desperate to get out. And I've had quite a lot of, I would stipulate, sort of mental health issues in my life. Cross-dressing is one that gives me a lot of challenges. I also am a member of the fellowship, which for those of you who may not know, although I've not had a drink for many, many years now, I still am what they would call a recovering alcoholic. And I'm proud to say that, because I went through an awful lot of mental health issues because of alcohol. And dealing with my inner thoughts and how it affected me as a human being, and that was all also interrelated to my cross-dressing and my need to identify who and what I am and acceptability. It was quite funny in the respect that it took me a long time to understand and appreciate the need just to communicate with people about problems. These days, I'm very lucky, I'm quite self-assured, very independent, and therefore I spend an awful lot of time going around talking about issues related to cross-dressing. My whole life is in this particular community and environment. I have a web business, I have a dressing service, we run a bed and breakfast here for cross-dressing and the gay community. So I've been quite affected by this pandemic at the moment, but certainly no more and a lot less than a lot of people that may be watching this particular video. And I was last night kept awake quite spent, most of the evening thinking about how to sort of approach this mental health issue and how it related to people that may be cross-dressing. Some people are self-isolating on their own and they're having the time of their lives because they can dress as much as possible. A lot of people are married and their partners don't know. They may be isolating or isolated with their families and and their children. There's no way that they can dress. And from a couple of conversations I can feel it with people I'm talking to, how much this is affecting them on a daily basis. It's making them very, very cranky because there's no relief. Me personally, if I was in that situation, I would have probably more certainly years and years ago turned to the drink to get around these sort of isolation issues, but thankfully I don't need to do that these days. I've also in my past suffered, and I still do, a little bit from bulimia as a result of sort of self-doubt and trying to keep my figure under control. So you could say I've had a very mixed up life, and although I would say these days I present quite reasonably well, quite sort of sane, if that's the right word for it. But, I am very aware of how situations and changes in situations can affect me and other people. So my empathy and my sympathy goes out to any of you out there that are really suffering because of this lockdown and this virus issue. But my piece of advice to one and all really is, it really does pay to talk about things if you humanly can, even if it's through sort of chat rooms and forums. On certain websites. There are websites like tvchicks.com, Crossdressing Heaven. There are lots of sort of forums that you can actually just type and talk to people. Even if you can't pick the phone up, do that, because you do need some sort of release. Without it, I think, it can boil up inside of you and it can come out sideways. And your partners or your close ones near to you won't understand why you're sort of so angsty and so irritable, because they don't know the sort of drives and the pressures there are when you're a cross-dresser, and the unique feelings that you get when you can slip into your dress or put your makeup on and you can let yourself go, and all those tensions can go and all that pressure on you in the male format can go, and all the things that sort of are weighing down so heavily on your shoulders on a day-to-day basis could seem to disappear and be alleviated as soon as you can dress. And then, afterwards you take the makeup off, you get back into male mode and you feel a bit more refreshed. That certainly applies to me. And I think mental health issues, not just for cross-dressers, but for people as a whole, are going to be a major challenge and something we're going to be dealing with for quite some time after this pandemic, God willing, passes and we can return to some sort of normality. But I thought, and I hope I haven't rambled too much, my key message really is I wanted to, as a result, because I've received a lot of very distressing emails and I've spoken to quite a few people through our business in the last 3, 4, 5 weeks that are at their wits' end, and I say to them all, this too shall pass. It's just keep it in the day. You will get through this. Try not to let it sort of weigh down too much. Walk outside if you can, have a walk around. Pick a phone up and talk to a friend if you have one that you can talk to it about, or as I say, go on one of these, community websites. If you're at a real loss, just drop me an email, sophie at crossdressing-lifestyle.com. I will, do my best to support and help you through this crisis in any way that I can. So I'm sorry if this is a very much a rambling video. It's very unusual because normally we do sort of product reviews and we do sort of life events and things like that. But this is, to me, a major life event. It's affecting me on a daily basis, not just through my business, but my mental health. I thank goodness that I have a very loving and supporting partner and lots of friends, and I can speak to about it openly. Now, if I'm suffering, I can then appreciate that people that can't discuss this very sensitive issue don't have that outlet. So please don't let it build up. I'm here for what it's worth, and there are a lot of people out there that can help. So all I would want to say is there is light at the end of the tunnel. This is coming to some sort of end. Hopefully not too distant future, we'll be able to get out and about with people. We'll be able to socialise a bit more and pick up with old friends. But all I want to say now is, you've done so well in just being there. So stay safe, think of one another, support the loved ones around you, and you know, keep dressing one way or another. So take care of yourself, and I'm sorry if this has been a ramble, but I thought it was a worthwhile doing sort of video. Bless you all, and as always, please stay gorgeous.